Welcome everyone to our grand 6th annual Chanukah on the Park event 2020. Without further ado, we would like to welcome and introduce Avi Cyperstein. Avi Cyperstein was born and raised, lives and works in Queens. He also volunteers in the Queens Hatzalah and Chaverim of Queens for over a decade. In 2017, Avi has produced Nissim Black's first headlining concert in New York on Chanukah, the Defrost concert, and we are so excited to be having Nissim Black sing and speak for us in just a few minutes. Back to Avi, as a first responder, he's helped many locals when COVID-19 first hit, and as a community activist decided that it is time to do more for our community in a larger capacity. It is my pleasure to introduce to you now Avi Cyperstein, who is running for City Council in our 29th district. Thank you. Make sure it's on.
Yep. Good evening, everyone. Happy Chanukah. Thank you, Rabbi Hecht, for that beautiful introduction. As the Rabbi said, as a first responder, responding to many emergencies in this neighborhood over the last few months, is part of the reason why I chose to take on this new role and run for City Council to represent my neighbors here in the 29th District in Forest Hills, Rego Park, Kew Gardens, and Richmond Hill. Just a quick thought about Chanukah. We know that Chanukah is the festival of lights. To me, that has always been a symbol to remind us that from darkness, there's always light. Whatever we're going through in life, whatever we're experiencing personally or now globally, whatever darkness we're experiencing, Chanukah is there to remind us in the cold of winter that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. But more importantly than that, more importantly than remembering that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, is to remember that each of us as individuals is also a light. Each of us has the ability to be a light for someone else's darkness. And each of us, not only on Chanukah, but every day of the year, in everything that we do, we can be an inspiration and a spark and be of light to someone else. And that is why I have chosen to be a light for this community, to take us from this period of seeming darkness and lead us into the future in a way that we can all thrive and grow. We need to be here for our small businesses. We need to be here for our seniors. We need to be here for our youth. We need to be here for our elderly. There's so much that needs to be done, and there's so much recovery that we need to do to come back and be better than ever before following this COVID-19 pandemic. As a community activist, I ask each of you to exercise your right to vote, register to vote, and make sure you vote in the June primary. And I hope to be your next councilman here in the 29th District. I want to give a shout out to my nieces and nephews that came all the way from Ohio to be here, to spread their light. And again, I want to thank Rabbi Mendy Hecht and his family for having me here tonight and for all the great work that they do. And I hope that together we'll be able to do a lot of great things in the future together with you and for this community. Have a happy Chanukah, and thank you everyone. Be safe.
Let's watch a short inspirational Chanukah message from our Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory. Thank you.
Hanukkah 1992, the largest intercontinental live Hanukkah celebration of its time, took place over satellite. A novelty then turns out to be a lifesaver now. The Rebbe taught us to use the God-given gifts of technology for the highest purpose of all, sharing the Hanukkah light and the Torah's message to every corner of the world.
Also jetzt werden wir zivil von zwischen Iden und zwischen Nicht-Iden kann aufstellen die Kehle, die Maschinen, was beweist denn, was ist 91 Ried, kann machen richtig in der ganzen Welt. Und sie darf nicht nehmen in Zeit, bis sie wird ankommen in der Welt. nur wie man es genutzt, der alle Entdeckungen, bringt Bora, Kodesh Baruch, Elu, Liquide, Kedei, zu aufgeben, Covid, den Ewigsten, hat nicht es genutzt, der Entdeckung, aber kann durch Radio und durch verschiedene Maschinen, als ein Kind, nicht in größer Gibe, hat angezogen an 91. Lichtl, an 91. Ort von der Welt, hat das derselbe Wege, hat das gesehen über der ganzen Welt, weil es gekommen ein jüdisch Kind und hat genommen ein Licht nicht in angezündene und hat gemacht von ihr eine lichtige Sache und gemacht von einer Sache, was sie lichtig mit der Lichtigkeit von Teile und Mitzvah ist. Und in der Zeit von Jemei Chanukah, was verbunden mit Lichtigkeit, macht echt lichtig. Sei Schlichus, was jeder Riede hat, aber von Tag zu Tag soll zugeben, noch mehr in seine Niedigkeit. Und sein Lechet hat der Jiden herumnehmen sollen zugeben in seine Niedigkeit. Und zugeben in Asame Leitner soll sein, wie der Mond früher als besser, besser mit Bachus, beleuchten dem ganzen Arum.
However powerful then, how much more powerful today? The Rebbe demonstrated to us the great power that innovative technology gives us, encouraging each and every one of us to shine beyond the limits of time and space, allowing every last person to affect and be affected.
This is a season of light and love, and we all have just as much potential as ever to share that with each other.
Despite the incredible challenges that we've been facing since last Hanukkah, I'm most excited for this Hanukkah above any other Hanukkah.
We're going to utilize this opportunity and leverage the technology we have at hand to enable us to connect with so many more Jews and spread the light of Hanukkah.
I'm going to use the power of technology to benefit my fellow people and my fellow Jews.
This year, I'm excited to see the beautiful light of Hanukkah spread throughout the world and have a positive impact on everyone.
And now comes Hanukkah, but I feel fully prepared to my virtual menorah lighting, my virtual Hanukkah classes with my rabbis, and virtual gatherings with my friends and family.
The Rebbe's timeless message of turning challenges into much greater opportunities inspires us, even and especially throughout this unique Hanukkah, to be the candle in a world that requires light.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Let's spread the light.
I would like to now welcome our very own commanding officer of the 112th Precinct. Please give a warm welcome to our captain, Joe Kappelman.
Hi, I'm Captain Joe Kappelman, commanding officer of the 112th Precinct. Over the last 10 months, I've had the honor and privilege of serving this community. I'd like to thank the members of the Chabad of Forest Hills North for all the support they provided us during this year. From all of us here at the 112th Precinct, we'd like to wish you a happy and healthy Hanukkah and a prosperous New Year.
Welcome to our grand 6th annual Hanukkah on the Park. Although this year we are not here physically, we will not compromise on the lighting of our 18-foot grand menorah at Yellowstone Park. We learned from the name of the holiday, called Chanukah. Chanukah comes from the Hebrew root word chinuch, which means inauguration as well as education. Chanukah celebrates the renewal of the service of the Holy Temple after it was liberated from the Greeks. The Jews took specifically the flask of pure olive oil, although they didn't have to, because in a public way, impurity was still exempt. Meaning to say, even if the flask was not pure, they would have been able to still use it in a kosher way for the menorah. From here we learn the message of Hanukkah. We have to rededicate ourselves to educate our children in the right way from the start. Never to wait until something will work itself out. From the outset, we start with the best, like the Jews who could have used any olive oil, but they did not. They wanted the best from the start, the one with the seal from the high priest, especially now in the challenging times of COVID that we are in. One of the beautiful things that we have come out of as a result is that people are yearning now more than ever to come together and celebrate each holiday. People realize the importance of each of our traditions and fulfill them the right way together with others. Chanukah serves as a model for all inaugurations, including the most significant inauguration of all, education. A child's inauguration into life. The Greeks issued decrees against Jewish education and forbade circumcision, the mitzvah that begins a Jewish boy's education. On Chanukah, we celebrate our freedom to provide our children with a proper Jewish education. The Lubavitcher Rebbe often stresses the unique connection between Chanukah and education. Chanukah is a special time to inspire children to connect to their heritage, as can be seen by many Chanukah customs that specifically involve children, like the giving of Chanukah geld. Chanukah is a great time to reflect on our children's Jewish education and continued spiritual growth. As we learn from the Chanukah candles, the way to light darkness is not by maintaining the same amount of light we had in the past, but to always increase the light, especially now in COVID. Let's take this message of Chanukah, of rededication and commitment to education of Torah and mitzvot of the next generation to heart. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining, continuing to spread the light, passing on the torch of our children, and showing them how we continue to celebrate and educate and spread the light of goodness and kindness and make this world a better place. We're gonna go up. This is the okay. So tonight, on the fourth night of Chanukah, we will start with the candle number 4 to show how we are increasing in light. Let's all light the shamash, and together we will say the blessings. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Okay, guys, here I am. I'm a little scared of heights, but this Menorah is not going to let me down. Okay. Moshe, we're good? Okay. We are ready to light the 4th candle. We are finally here. And of course, this year we cannot be with the FDNY, but we love them, we miss them, and we wish them a lot of health due to the COVID situation. We were unable to have them with us, but we will surely have them back next year with us again. And of course, we want to thank Alan from the Bucket Truck for Hire for being here with us tonight. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam She'asa nisim la'avoseinu Bayomim ha'hem bizman hazeh. Now we're just going to go a little forwards. I'm going to put in the shamish. I'm so excited to introduce the Eighth Day Band Marcus Brothers. They are a Hasidic pop rock band of two brothers, Shmuel and Bentzi Marcus, who have played in hundreds of concerts across the globe with over 6 million views on their hit song Yalili. Let's give a warm welcome to the Eighth Day.
Happy Chanukah and welcome to the virtual 8th Day concert. We want you to join us, sing along, clap along, and here we go.
Ma'ozor Yeshuasi Lechono El Shabeach Tikun Beis Tevilasi Bisham Toda Mizabeach Lies Tachin Matbeach Mitzor Amnabeach Ozek Mor Bishir Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeach Ozek Mor Bishir Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeach Lies Tachin Matbeach Shir Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeach Ozek Mor B'Shir Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeach. Oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. And are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Chanukah reminds us, each one of us is a miracle of lights.
No fighter plane, no battleship can crush what's pure and sweet. It's that last drop of oil, just won't see defeat. It keeps our little hopping flame dancing to the beat. It's that last drop of oil, we're taken to the streets,
and we'll blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell Harry, tell all your stories, be a miracle of a life. Blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell Harry, tell all your stories, be a miracle of a life.
Tanto vestino, no canto nikmosam, ki boine mi ad chaloshim. Rabin biyad mi yatim,
I'll be your business, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light. I'll be your business, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
Crushed like an olive, let your oil flow. When there's nothing left, your true colors show.
So reach deep down and grab that spark. Ain't you tired of living in the dark? Show me a candlelight, show you the light. Show me a candlelight, show you the light. Blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell Harry, tell all your stories, be a miracle of a light. Blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell Harry, tell all your stories, be a miracle of a light.
Tanto vestino, no canto nikmosam, ki boine mi ad chaloshim. Rabin biyad mi yatim,
I'll be your business, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light. I'll be your business, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your nest, oh yeah. I'll be your nest, I'll be your nest, I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of a light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your nest, I'll be your nest.
Show me candlelight, show me the light. Show me candlelight, show me the light. I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light. I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your bright light, I'll be your miracle, I'll be your miracle of light.
I'll be your nest, I'll be your miracle,
miracle of light. Chanukah's a time of joy, a time to dance.
Konstanz, takke, takke, hule, hule, hule. Konstanz, takke, takke, heilige, hule, yo.
Clap along, dance along, it's Chanukah, here we go. Echad ani yodea, this time do me one favor. Mitzvah liyot b'simcha,
Mitzvah liyot b'simcha.
Shnayim ani yodea, when you share it that's the flavor. Mitzvah liyot b'simcha. Oh, this whole world spins on divine. Nothing you can do when it's dancing time. Tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, heilige, hule. Oh, tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, hule. This joy is blind to color, dark days like any other. Mitzvah liyot b'simcha, mitzvah liyot b'simcha. You can dance the heavens open, just enough to slip some hope in. Mitzvah liyot b'simcha. Oh, 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 this soul winds are divine. Nothing you can do when it's dancing time. Tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, heilige, hule. Oh, tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, hule. You guys ready? Hule, 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 hule. It's so divine. It's Chanukah dancing time. Sing it, come on. Hule, 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 hule. Mashke hule, du me get a cara hot metri. Mashke hule, du me get a cara hot metri. Mashke hule, get cara hot. Tanz, tanz, take, take. Put your hands together, come on. Hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take. Heilige, heilige, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take. Hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take. Heilige, heilige, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, hule, hule, hule. Tanz, tanz, take, take, heilige, hule, hule. It's time to let our Yiddish Neshama, our dancing flames, spread the light, spread the joy. Here we go. Together, get those feet dancing. It's Mazel Tov time. Here we go. Tell all your fears, your worries, your troubles. Tell them to go and dance Kizatska, Kizatska. Tell those you know, or even some strangers. Tell them to come and dance the Hora, Hora. Tell all your dreams, your hopes and your stories. Tell them to go and dance Kizatska, Kizatska. Tell all your friends, your brothers, your neighbors. Tell them to come and dance the Hora, Hora. To the dance for Mazel Tov, 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 to the dance for Mazel Tov. Hey, yo, hey. The gates stand open wide. Our children are by our side. This dance floor is alive. Why? 'Cause I'm Yisrael Chai. Keep those hands clapping. Keep those dreidels spinning. It's Chanukah time. That's right. Tell all your fears, your worries, your troubles. Tell them to go and dance Kizatska, Kizatska. Tell those you know, or even some strangers. Tell them if they's dancing Hora, Hora. To the dance for Mazel Tov, 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 to
the dance floor, Mazel Tov. Hey, yo, hey! Like an eagle soaring high, you'll hold up for the ride. No, no, don't hide your pride. You know the Rebbe teaches us, Rachut v'zayin gut. Think positive, it'll be positive. What a wonderful message, perfect timing. Let's spread the light of Rachut v'zayin gut. I met a little boy with big brown eyes, said, chocolate of it, zayin good. I met a little girl who had nowhere, she said, chocolate of it, zayin good. Oh, chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good to me. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good to me. So, if you wanna come along and dance with me, say, chocolate of it, zayin good. And if you wanna come along and sing with me, say, chocolate of it, zayin good. Oh, chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good to me. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Oh, chocolate of it, zayin good to me. So, if you wanna come along and dance with me, say, chocolate of it, zayin good. And if you wanna come along and sing with me, say, chocolate of it, zayin good. Oh, chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good to me. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Chocolate of it, zayin good. Oh, chocolate of it, zayin good to me. Chocolate of it, zayin good to me. The old classic, I said Chitty, you say Bob. I'll be with you through the joy and the sorrow. I'll be with you today and tomorrow. I'll cry with you when you lose and you borrow. I'll dance with you when you win and say bravo. Cause one's just one, but together we're number one. Yes, one's just one, but together we're number one. I say chitty, you say bo. We say chitty bitty bim bum bum. I say chitty, you say bo. We say chitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bum. Chitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bum. Chitty bitty bim bum bum. Hey, one, 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 one. Together we're number one, whoa. All together we're number one. Make some noise for Benzi on the guitar. One nation, one God, unity. I say chitty, you say bomb. We say chitty bitty bim bum bum. I say chitty, you say bomb. We say chitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bum. Chitty bitty bim bum bum. Chitty bitty bum. Chitty bitty bim bum bum. Hey, one, 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 one. Together we're number one. Whoa. All together we're number one. Chocolate of it, zayin good. To the dance for Mazel Tov. Chocolate of it, zayin good. To the dance for Mazel Tov.
Hope you're all enjoying. We're on. Hope we're all enjoying. You're all enjoying in the comfort of your homes. Look, even the birds are excited. I don't know if you hear it in the live stream, but the birds are also excited this Hanukkah. Now we're going to watch 8 different presentations conveying inspiring Hanukkah messages through words, music, art, and more. Let's now welcome Beyond the Flame, an ode to the past and a mission statement of the future. Beyond the Flame.
Days, 8 nights, and you can call it 8 planes, 8 lights. light a flame for this miracle. Hey, we light a flame for this miracle.
Hi, my name is Nissim Black, and I was born in Seattle, Washington. I'm a professional rapper, and I love doing what I do. Rap is the tool that I use and the medium that I use to be able to reach people in an amazing way and to be able to share God's love in the world. I was raised in a completely different life than what I'm living now. As an inner city kid, growing up in the urban neighborhoods, got into gang violence and drugs very early on, and had that wonderful opportunity to change my life. I converted to Judaism at the age of 26. Me and my wife, we had 2 children at the time, and thank God, Hashem has blessed us now with 6. And we picked up and left America and moved here to Eretz Israel, and we now live outside of Jerusalem in Beit Shemesh. One of the things that inspired me the most about Judaism was the honesty of the story. If you read throughout the Hebrew scriptures, the beautiful, beautiful story and relationship between God and the Jewish people, this constant rising and falling of the people, and this constant love that Hashem has for the Jewish people, and the inseparable relationship that there is between Hashem, the Jewish people, and the land of Israel. So that very much so inspired me to want to be a part of that relationship, to take hold of it and to immerse myself in it.
And so we make a flame for this miracle.
Chanukah. Who could not be connected to Chanukah? I feel so connected. I feel like this is my Chag. Chanukah really represents being in the darkest and the lowest and the most remote places.
I'm standing here, but I can't hold myself. I know I need the help of someone else. I am my brother's keeper. I can use my hand.
What connects me most to Chanukah, and what probably connects all of us, is the wonderful mandate to light the menorah, to light the Chanukah out and in the open, in front of everyone. It's like David HaMelech, who says to Hashem, I will profess your greatness and your kingship before all the kings of the earth. And we are doing this every Chanukah. We're showing the light and the miracle and the great wonders of what God has done for us, the Jewish people, in front of the whole entire world. And it's on display for everyone to see. That is the power of Chanukah. That with each and every single day that we light the Chanukah, that we add light, we add more light. It only shows that this flame, which can ignite another flame, without really extinguishing the original flame, it's giving of ourselves, and the more chesed and the more kindness that we do with each and every day, it will not take away from us, God forbid, but it's only going to give more. And the more light that we spread, the more and more we're able to illuminate the whole entire world. This is Chanukah, and this is why I love it so much.
Whenever we down, he can lift us up. Ain't a difficulty, too difficult for us. If only we would trust and keep our heads up. The sky we can touch, yeah. But I feel so out of my zone. I feel like I lost my control. I feel so out of my zone. I feel like I lost my way home, yeah. But when it's dark out, I can't see, yeah. So can you make a light for me? It's hard. From Egypt to Babylon, the Holocaust, Inquisition would pivot us to the pogroms. Yeah, from the Greeks and now in Rome. Yeah, but we fight back to light that fire. They got a problem cause this neshama won't expire. We move it on. We show the whole entire world no fear in us. And so we make a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 nights, and you can call it 8 flames, 8 nights. We light a flame for this miracle. Hey, we light a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 nights, and you can call it 8 flames, 8 lights. And we light a flame for this miracle. Hey, we light a flame for this miracle. I'm standing here, but I can't hold myself. I know I need the help of someone else. I am my brother's keeper. I can use my hand to be my brother's keeper. We gon' fly away.
not in a million years can 6 million tears be ignored still. These are arms of steel, King David's shield. Operation Moses, Ethiopian Trojan. He gave the mighty to the weak and the many to the few. In a minute, it was through. Even in the dark, we light it through. So now I give my light to you, but we fight back to light that fire. They got a problem cause this neshama won't expire. We moving on. We show the whole entire world no fear in us. So we make a flame for this miracle. Hey, so we make it 8 days, 8 nights, and you can call it 8 flames, 8 lights. We light a flame for this miracle. Hey, we light a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 nights, and you can call it 8 flames, 8 lights. And we light a flame for this miracle. Hey, we light a flame for this miracle. Everybody at home sing along. We make it 8 days, 8 nights, 8 flames, 8 lights for this miracle. Hey, so we light a flame for this miracle. So we make it 8 days, 8 nights, 8 flames, 8 lights for this miracle. We light a flame for this miracle. Hope everybody's enjoying the Chanukah so far.
My name is Ron Dermer, and for over 7 years I've been privileged to serve as Israel's ambassador to the United States. I'm honored to speak to Jewish communities across the world who this year are celebrating Hanukkah with Chabad. Now, some people say that all Jewish holidays are the same, that all our holidays can be summed up in 3 short sentences. They tried to kill us, they failed, let's eat. But the truth is that each Jewish holiday not only has unique foods and customs, but also commemorates a unique national experience. On Passover, we celebrate our freedom from slavery in Egypt. On Purim, we celebrate our survival from a plot in Persia to annihilate us. On Sukkot, we remember our simple spiritual lives in the desert. On Shavuot, we remember receiving our people's greatest treasure, the Torah. Well, what about Hanukkah? On Hanukkah, we celebrate Jewish identity. We remember how a small and courageous band of Maccabees took on a powerful empire, not to save their lives or to end their bondage, but to live according to their faith, laws, and traditions. In fact, the Maccabees risked their lives to save their identity. It is precisely because Hanukkah is a celebration of Jewish identity that it is the most public of Jewish holidays. We can have a Seder in the privacy of our homes. We can build our sukkahs in an inner courtyard. But on Hanukkah, we must light the menorah in a place where our neighbors, Jews and non-Jews alike, can see. On Hanukkah, we essentially do what the Maccabees themselves did some 2,200 years ago. We take pride in our faith and in our heritage. We show the world that we are proud Jews. Beyond Jewish identity, on Hanukkah, we also celebrate Jewish sovereignty in the land of Israel. In fact, Hanukkah is the only Jewish holiday that commemorates an event that took place in the land of Israel. I realized that for the first time when I played a game of dreidel soon after I moved to Israel. I spun it, and it landed on pay. I thought I got a bum dreidel, because in America, all the dreidels have a shin, not a pay. And they stand for, in America, Nes Gadol Haya Sham. A great miracle happened there. But in Israel, all the dreidels have a pay, because they stands for Nes Gadol Haya Po. A great miracle was here in the land of Israel. On Hanukkah, we celebrate the miracle of the restoration of Jewish sovereignty in the land of Israel. Now, the Jewish people, ladies and gentlemen, are a 4,000-year-old people, but we have been a sovereign people for less than a quarter of that time. Our first period of sovereignty began when Joshua crossed the Jordan over 3,000 years ago. It ended some 7 centuries later when Babylonian ruler Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the temple, the first temple in Jerusalem. Hundreds of years passed before our second period of sovereignty began with the miraculous victory of the Hashmonaim, the Maccabees. But that was short-lived, and about a century later, the Jewish state effectively became a vassal of Rome. The Jews later rebelled, but were ultimately defeated. The Second Temple was destroyed. A 2,000-year exile began. That is, until 1948, when a great transformation occurred in the life of the Jewish people with the rebirth of the one and only Jewish state. We moved from powerlessness to power, from statelessness to sovereignty, from having to beg others to defend us to being able to defend ourselves, like the Maccabees of old. We must never forget that 100 generations of Jews dreamed to have the privilege to live at a time when there would be a sovereign Jewish state. And only 3 generations of Jews have had the privilege of living that dream. With that privilege comes a great responsibility to secure that dream for future generations. That is why on Hanukkah, we should all light the menorah with pride. Pride in being able to celebrate the same heritage that the Maccabees safeguarded against impossible odds so long ago. And pride in having the privilege to live at a time when there is a sovereign Jewish state. A state whose emblem is the menorah and whose light burns bright for all the world to see. Chag Sameach.
Hi, my name is Tamir Goodman. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I was blessed to play Division I basketball on a full athletic scholarship and professional basketball without playing on Shabbat. Today, I live in Jerusalem with my wife and 5 kids, and I have a sports consulting company that focuses on product development, coaching, and scouting for basketball players around the world. After many years of hard work and training and pushing myself till tears every day, trying to be the best Jewish basketball player that I could be, at the age of 17, I was ranked the 25th best high school basketball player in all of America. I started getting a lot of scholarship offers. I originally committed to the University of Maryland, but then I realized that if I wanted to stay and play there, I'd have to play on Shabbat. So I actually went to play for a different team, Towson University, and Towson University managed to change the entire schedule for me so that I could play Division I basketball without playing on Shabbat. After a month of intense training on campus, the first game of the season finally started, and then the second game, and then the third game. Third game was in Philadelphia, and we traveled there the day before the game. And late at night before the game, we heard a knock on the door. My roommate and I, Mohammed, who was a Muslim basketball player, and I went to open up the door, and I was completely shocked to see it was our head coach. Feeling very nervous, I went into the hallway, and coach just said, "Look, I really want you to be ready to play tomorrow." And I said, "Coach, I try to always be ready to play. What's going on? What's special?" He said, "Well, we're playing against Villanova. They're one of the best teams in the whole country. The game is going to be on ESPN. Millions of people are going to be watching the game. And Tamir, you're starting." And I felt so nervous because my whole life I've been watching Villanova. And now, am I really good enough to play against them, especially when their point guard is a senior and I'm just a freshman? I came back into the room and I closed the door and I was frozen. I was so scared. I couldn't sleep the whole night. The next day, we got to Villanova. 2 hours before the game, usually there's no crowd there. It's just the players warming up. And we were warming up, but I just couldn't get my confidence going. I was so nervous. I was so scared that I wouldn't be able to play on this level on ESPN in front of all these people. After a little bit of time in the warm-ups, I looked up in the crowd and I was completely shocked to see there was a Jewish lady, especially this year. Because this year, we don't have our confidence going. We don't feel like ourselves. Because of the coronavirus, all of our confidence has been taken away from us. But this story reminds me, and hopefully it will remind you, Just take the first step. Get dressed, put on your uniform, start warming up, and eventually Hashem will send you the blessings that you need to be successful. I wasn't confident. I didn't think I was going to be able to play well in that game, but I put my uniform on, I went out to warm-ups, and Hashem sent those angels that showed me the Hebrew letters that gave me all the confidence that I needed to move forward and have a great game. So my blessing to you this Chanukah is, just take the first step. There's so much power in adding just one light, because when we add just one light, Hashem will take care of the rest for us. Happy Chanukah from Jerusalem, and thank you to Chabad for the opportunity.
I'm super excited to make a beautiful cheese board with you today in honor of Hanukkah. Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Chani Applebaum and I am a kosher food blogger, food photographer, and cookbook author here in Brooklyn, New York. This is my cookbook, Millennial Kosher, and I'm all about modernizing traditional Jewish food in a fun and exciting way. I grew up right around the corner here in Brooklyn, on the block of 770 Eastern Parkway, the headquarters of the Chabad Lubavitch movement, and just had the most beautiful upbringing, celebrating our traditions and Judaism in such a special way. And I'm a mom of 5, and one of the things that is so important to me is just bringing and gathering my family around the table to celebrate our heritage and traditions through food. Obviously, Hanukkah and the holidays, that's the best way to do it. Have your potato latkes and your Hanukkah donuts, but more importantly, the Hanukkah menorah. I was actually born on the 5th night of Hanukkah, so it's really special to me to gather my family around the menorah and light it. But I don't do that in my kitchen. I bring it to the window, because at the window is where you can actually spread the light and show that I'm a proud Jew and spread the light of Judaism to the world. And really, that's what I'm so passionate about. It's really that perfect appetizer for any kind of holiday meal. One of the heroines of the story of Hanukkah is Yehudit, who was known for luring the Greek general with wine and cheese. So we're gonna make a red wine fig jam and a beautiful cheese board to celebrate. So let's get started. Okay, we're gonna get started making our red wine fig jam. So just use a small saucepan here. I have 8 ounces of dried mission, all the stems, 1 cup of dry red wine. Goes really nicely with the cheese. Now we're gonna peel a couple of strips of orange zest. You can use lemon zest, you can use grapefruit zest if you like. And my trick is I take a couple of cloves and I pierce it right in there. This way, they're not floating around your pot and you have to look for them. I'm gonna add a cinnamon stick in there and also some star anise. The figs are quite sweet in and of themselves, so I just add a little drizzle of honey. You can add any kind of sweetener you like, maple syrup, brown sugar, all work well. Give that a little stir and let that simmer for about 20 minutes until most of the liquid is absorbed. And then if you want, you can blend it with a food processor to make it a little bit more jammy, or you can have it be a little bit more chunky. It's up to you. Okay, we got our jam going, and now we're gonna start with the cheese. There's actually a kind of a technique to building the perfect cheese board, and that is using a different assortment of cheeses. So the rule is something old, something new, something goat, and something blue. So let's look at what we have. Something old would be like an aged cheese, such as Parmesan, cheddar, Gouda. Something new would be a fresh cheese like ricotta, fresh mozzarella, or feta, which is what we're using. Something goat would be a goat cheese, which we have right here, and something blue would be like a blue cheese, except I usually find that most people don't like real blue cheese, so what I like to use is Camembert or Brie, which have a moldy rind, so it's kind of like a moldy cheese, but not that moldy. First, I want to show you what I do with my goat cheese because it's really fun. You can roll it in chopped nuts, dried fruit, fresh herbs, but I like to roll it in everything bagel spice. How fun is that? And I'm just gonna kind of roll it, pressing down on the spices to adhere to the cheese. I also like to do different shapes and different colors. So we have, the yellow cheddar, and the Parmesan is a nice triangle. So this just gives nice visual element to the board as well. And it's also really nice to slice into your cheese just Makes it more inviting. Nobody wants to be the first person to slice into it. So for the feta, it's a little bit more moist. So I put it on a dish. And I'm gonna drizzle some good quality olive oil over that. If you wanna put some fresh herbs, you can do that. A little bit of lemon zest, also nice. But you know what we'll do? We will add a little bit of olives to that. So that's another thing about building a board, is thinking about the different flavors. So you want something sweet, something salty, something sour, something bitter, just to hit all the notes on the palate. Our cheese is in. We're gonna put out some fruit, some crackers. I have some beautiful vine tomatoes over here. Grapes. Grapes are always nice on a cheese board. Okay, we have some dried dates here, medjool dates. I have some beautiful oranges. Love honeycomb with cheese. So, so amazing. So I'm gonna stick that right on here. And we have our red wine fig jam that we made. I actually pulse this in the food processor so it's nice and jammy, as you can see. You know, you wanna go rustic with this, nothing too perfect, just kind of let everything flow. Let's get some pickles on here. I love these cornichons. Really crunchy, nice texture. Nuts are really perfect on a board as well. I have some dried apricots. Kind of want to fill in all the spaces and really have it nice and full. And some pecans, cashews. We have some beautiful blackberries. And of course, crackers. Can't forget the crackers. Look around your board, fill in any gaps that you might have. Okay, and don't forget your cheese servers.
Thank you very much. We'll give to charity for your mother. That the God Almighty bless her and be happy.
מר סילבן שלום, יושב ראש חברת החשמל בישראל.
ברכה והצלחה. ולבואי כל העניינים, בלי ישראל התחילו במעמד יהי אור.
יהי אור, עכשיו היינו בחנוכה, חג האורים.
הצלחה, כן.
היה חג האורים בחנוכה.
והייתי צריך להוסיף מיום ליום. לא אחר כך 2 ימים, אלא מיום ליום.
זה נכון.
וזה בשביל השפה.
תודה רבה.
אין לו כסף, אבל תהיה דבר הראשון כבר מזומן. ברכה והצלחה.
My name is Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson, Yosef Yitzchak Jacobson. I grew up in the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn, at the feet of the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory. Today, I live with my family in Rockland County in Muncie, New York. And I've had the privilege over the years to travel to communities across the globe and share some of the light I was privileged to absorb from the Rebbe. I still recall that Shabbat afternoon. It was Chanukah, 1991. I was a yeshiva student. It was 1:30 p.m. The Rebbe came down to the main sanctuary, 770 Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, and he began his weekly fabring, his public address and gathering to the thousands of Hasidim and disciples that were gathered. But I still recall the opening of that address, Chanukah 91, because it was so rare. And the Rebbe said, when somebody is passionate about something, he or she will find that passion everywhere. Any person they meet, any circumstances they encounter, any experience they have will somehow trigger that passion. They will find conscious or unconscious associations because this is what their mind is immersed in. They will find this passion everywhere and anywhere. And the Rebbe said, for us, the Jewish people, our deepest passion is our yearning for Mashiach, our craving for redemption. We yearn for a world that is filled with divine infinite consciousness, where humanity is one, where each and every single one of us has the ability to transcend our toxicity and be aligned with our divine infinite core of love and light. And when Chanukah comes, the association is immediately there. We're yearning for a world that's filled with divine, spiritual light and love. How do I tune into that consciousness, the Rebbe said? He said, look what happens when you kindle a flame. He says, with most material things in our world, it's a zero-sum game. If I give you $100, I don't have those $100. If I give you shares in my business, those shares are now yours and not mine. But if I have a flame and I use that flame to ignite another flame, nothing of my light is diminished. On the contrary, my light has just increased. There are two ways in which we can operate on a daily basis. One is a more restrictive form of consciousness, where I believe there are only limited assets and we're all competing. I walk around with a restricted state of consciousness, being very cautious about what I'm going to share and what I'm going to get. I have these walls of insecurity and fear that I feel I must always carry with me in order to protect my fragile ego. But the Rebbe said, Chanukah tries to teach us another way of living. Instead of looking to the world for validation and for love, you become the source of light. I must challenge myself and ask myself the question, can I at every single moment become a source of love, a source of light, a source of hope, a source of healing to everybody around me? When people see me, when people see you in the street, in the store, wherever it is, in the office, they know immediately this is a flame from which I can kindle my flame. Because when I and you become that person, not only does our light not get diminished, on the contrary, we receive more light and more love as we flood the world with love.
Shalom, my name is Rabbi Muli, and welcome to my studio. I'm originally from Melbourne, Australia, and now I live and work in Hillside, New Jersey. I'm also known as the Pop Art Rabbi, and wonderfully, I carry these two titles of rabbi and artist. You know, one thing I've learned along my journey as an artist is that there are three basic elements, three basic ingredients to every piece of creativity, every piece of expression. Step one is what you say, the subject matter of any form of expression. And really that's a reflection of yourself, a reflection of your soul, a reflection of your circumstance, a reflection of your upbringing, the things that really matter to you most, that you choose and want to share with others. The next step is how you say it, how you choose to convey these ideas. There's music, there's dance, there's poetry, there's canvas and paints, and many other things. And then there's the third element of how you share it with the world. Once it's done, once it's complete, now what do you do with it? The incredible lesson that we learned from Chanukah and from the Menorah is to look at things from a different perspective. Because the beautiful message of the Menorah, the unique idea of the mitzvah of Menorah is that we take the menorah and we light it in the window, we light it outside. It's the one mitzvah where the Torah tells us how to go about it. We're not showy people, we're people of the book, we're quiet about our mitzvah. It's not about publicizing. But the mitzvah of Chanukah is to do it outside. Why? Is light over darkness. It's to shine the light, the energy of the menorah out to the outside. And really that third element of creativity, of what you do with it. Now that you've had something, how do you share it with others? How do you share it with the world? really changes, for me at least, has changed the way I look at creativity, the way I look at my process, and that the end result of sharing it with others defines step 1 and 2. And this idea really is the idea of Geula, the idea of redemption, is that in redemption, in Geula, everything that we have is still there, except that it's revealed. The world is revealed in its purity, in its essence. That's the idea of creativity. The idea of creativity isn't to create for yourself, to do for yourself, but it's really to share. It's to share with others. And that's my duty, that's my responsibility, that's my opportunity. That's our opportunity, is to take the gifts that we have, to take the abilities that we have, to take the creativity we have, to take the expressions. So it's what we say and how we say it, and we're all unique. But it's about sharing it with the world. It's about taking the Geula mindset. The work itself is not complete until it's shared with others, until it impacts others, until it creates an opportunity for others to get involved, to others to engage. Because together, we can make the world complete. Happy Chanukah.
My name is Beryl Solomon, and I am 32 years old. I live in Montreal, and I'm a Baal Tshuva. That means that I was not born into a religious home. And I have an incredible Chanukah story that I want to share with you and everybody watching. A Chanukah story that changed my life, and that changed my children's lives, and my children's children's lives. And it all started with the menorah. It happened when I was right around my age of bar mitzvah, that I was on a cruise ship with my family. And it was Chanukah, the first night of Chanukah. And we get off of the cruise ship and we go into an island. And as we're getting off the boat to go on our adventure, a young man, not much older than my eldest sister at the time, comes up to my father and says, "Happy Chanukah, sir. Are you Jewish by any chance?" My father said, "Yes." He said, "I want you to have this Chanukah menorah." And my father said, "Wow, that's so nice." My father asked him, "How much do you want for it?" And the young child said to my father, "You don't have to pay me. All I want from you, sir, is that you promise that you will light it tonight and every other night for Chanukah." My father took the menorah, he was touched, and we went about our business at the island, and we came back at the end of the day and he stuck it in his suitcase. And as we're sitting around at the dinner table that night, for anybody that's ever been in a cruise, you know there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tables on every deck. And we're sitting at our table and my little sister reminds my father, she says, "Dad, it's the first night of Chanukah tonight." And my father says, "Wow, I remember, we got a menorah, go get it." And I went with my sister to go get the menorah and we brought it to our table. And we were very scared to light it because on a cruise ship, you're not really allowed to light. But we did it anyways. And we put together any blessing that we knew, we remembered any song that we could remember, and we lit the menorah. And something amazing happened. Within a few minutes, we saw on the top deck that somebody else had also lit the menorah on their table. And then within a few minutes, we see another table right next to us light their menorah. And then again, and again, and again, another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and people kept on lighting the menorahs until it seemed that the entire cruise ship deck was completely lit with menorahs. Jewish people that were hiding until this moment all revealed themselves with the flame of Chanukah. And my family was so touched. We felt like we lit up the darkness. And that is the magic of what Chanukah is about. The magic of a candle is when you light another candle with your candle, not only does your candle not get diminished, but you could illuminate an infinite amount of candles. And that one moment left such a profound impact on me. Today, thank God, I'm married to a beautiful wife. I have 3 beautiful children. And it all started with a little bit of light on Chanukah. And I try to take that light into everything I do. I'm a businessman first and foremost, and I try to infuse that into my business. I try to touch every customer with a little bit of light. Jewish or not, we have a mission into this world. But it all started with the magic and the light of Chanukah.
Everyone, my name is Aviva Jablon. I'm from Westlake Village, California. I'm a proud child of Sea Kids Brigade Savos Hashem. I've always dreamed of a perfect world where there's only good.
Aviva, you want to come play dreidel with me?
I don't know.
Please, please, pretty please.
You're fine.
Hey, I just realized that my dream of a perfect world can actually happen. I just did it. Even though when I wasn't in the mood of playing, I still went out of my way for others. These little acts of kindnesses are what creates a perfect world. A Moshiach world. Yay, I got a gimel. Yay. It's just like a menorah. Just like we add 1 more candles each night of Hanukkah, we need to keep adding our acts of kindnesses and goodness. I just realized the power and potential I have by helping others learning Torah and doing mitzvot. I am turning my world into a Moshiach world. Aw, I got a shin.
As a child of Savos Hashem, I'm part of a global network of thousands of Jewish children who are trying to make this world a Moshiach world. When I know that I'm not alone, it makes it so much easier and brings Moshiach faster. When the whole world will be the perfect world that I have always dreamed of.
This Chanukah, let's go beyond the flame.
Let's go beyond the flame.
This Chanukah, let's go beyond the flame.
And unleash our unlimited potential.
Light up the world with goodness.
And constantly grow.
Constantly grow.
This Chanukah,
Let's go beyond the flame and light up the whole world with goodness.
unleash our infinite potential.
Flood the world with love, light, and goodness.
Have your moment.
Have your moment of redemption.
Have your moment
of redemption now.
Let's have our moment of redemption
right now.
So I hope you enjoyed this amazing event that we just witnessed. Such a beautiful program. And now we would like to bring you back to the amazing 8th Day concert. And don't forget to reach out for your very own Hanukkah Menorah kit. And if you need, and it's free of charge, if you still need, we are here for all your Jewish needs. Kindly partner with us in this event and all our activities at www.chabadfhn.com/donate. And once again, let's bring back the 8th Day band with Shmuel and Benzi Marcus. What an amazing group. They're going to continue the amazing musical. Thank you all for watching, and have a happy Hanukkah to all.
Chanukah has that spinning dreidel with the 4 Hebrew letters, Nes Gadol Hayasham, the Nun Gimel Hayshin. But Chanukah reminds us, miracles can happen today, and they will. So spin along, sing along, the classic dreidel, dreidel. Here we go. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel
shall play. That's Leo. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Half little J, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh dreidel, I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel, I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel, I shall play. Spin those dreidels, come on. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, dreidel, I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play. Spin those dreidels, happy Hanukkah. This year more than ever, we need to let our inner flame, our light shine away the darkness. Where you see darkness, you make light. So join us as we let our light shine around the world. I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Yeah, I'm on fire. Clap along, come on. I'm on fire. Can't tame a flame. Flying through like an aeroplane. Can't pin it down. Shining light all around. Your soul inside. It's a flame, it's from on high. Can't stop the heat. Burning up the beat. Your soul could want the coldest heart. So let the fire start. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. Yeah, I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. Yeah, I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. I gotta let it shine. Don't change your flame. Go along with the hurricane. Don't turn around. Earthquake shaking underground. No looking back. Burning up the track. Light sets you free. Up infinity. Your soul could walk the coldest high. So let the fire start. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. Hey, I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. I gotta let it shine. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it blow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Clap along, here we go. That's right. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire head to toe. Gotta let it shine. So let the fire start.
let the fire start. The Festival of Lights, a time to rejoice. Why wait to celebrate?
Here we go now, here we go again. Oh, you know gekommen. It's like you're sleeping. There's a small deep within you. Ushanenu, Rena. This song's for singing, Rena. Shira Malois, Vishu Vashem. Here we go now, here we go again. Oh, you know gekommen. It's like you're sleeping. There's a small deep within you. Ushanenu, Rena. This song's for singing, Rena. Why wait to celebrate? Menorah Yishama, bright lights in city streets. Ore, Yehuda. Why wait to celebrate? Don't wait. Menorah Yishama, now it's step for your feet. Chutzoy Yerushalayim. Shira Malois, Vishu Vashem. Here we go now, here we go again. Oh, you know gekommen. It's like you're sleeping. Oh, zero, there's a small deep within you. Ushanenu, Rena. This song's for singing, Rena. Yes, it is. Why wait to celebrate? Menorah Yishama, bright lights in city streets. Ore, Yehuda. Why wait to celebrate? Don't wait. Menorah Yishama, now it's stand for your feet. Chutzoy Yerushalayim. Why wait to celebrate? Oh, bright lights in city streets. Ore, Yehuda. Why wait to celebrate? Don't wait. Menorah Yishama, now it's stand for your feet. Chutzoy Yerushalayim.
Semesha Hazara, Boyavu, Berina, Halachela Lubachon, Semesha Hazara, Boyavu, Berina, Halachela Lubachon, Semesha Hazara, Boyavu, Berina, Halachela Lubachon, Semesha Hazara, Boyavu, Berina,
Bright lights in city streets. Ore, Yehuda. Why wait to celebrate? Don't wait. Menorah Yishama, now it's stand for your feet. Chutzoy Yerushalayim. Why wait to celebrate? Bright lights in city streets. Ore, Yehuda. Why wait to celebrate? Menorah Yishama, now it's stand for your feet. Why wait?
Music has the power to unite us all, young and old, around the world. So let's join together in unity. Sing it together. Come on.
Yala yala yalili, oh yala yala yalili, yala 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 yalili. Oh yala yala yalili, oh yala yala yalili, oh yala yala yalili, yala yala yalili. Dance, happy birthday, yala yala yalili. Shed the hay, oh yala yala yalili, yala yala yalili. Oh yala yala yalili, oh yala yala yalili, oh yala yala yalili, yala yala yalili. Dance, happy birthday. Hele mazal shetiye, hele mazal shetiye, hele mazal shetiye, mit Chabad shetiye.
the hatan, no Sephardi, Kalanoe, Ashkenazi, Achelemedu, O Sephardi, Mameruche, Ashkenazi, Papa Sali, O Sephardi, Rabbi Nachman, Ashkenazi, Shetahela Mazal, O Sephardi, Met Shabadi, Ashkenazi. Oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili. Dance, 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 Habibi. China China, oh Sephardi, oh Gishoma, Ashkenazi, Yossi Avi, oh Sephardi, Yom Shmini, Ashkenazi, Moadim Simcha, oh Sephardi, Agad Yontif, Ashkenazi, Shetahila Mazal, oh Sephardi, Bet Shabadi, Ashkenazi. Oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili. Oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili. Dance, 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 Habib. Oh yala 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 lili, shut the head. Oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili. Oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, shut the head. Oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili. Dance, 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 Habib. Mazal shetiye, shetiye mazal shetiye, Shabadi shetiye. Everybody sing along. Yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, oh yala 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 lili, yala 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 lili. Dance, 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 copy bitch.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a happy Chanukah. Don't forget to light your own menorah. See you next time.
Yisrael, Avi Cyperstein of Queens.